Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 312 based on novel. So let's start. Boom. As Luo Menglan's terrifying aura erupted, it instantly defeated the power of extreme cold from the Xianbing Lotus Terrace. Immediately, the countless chills in the Lotus platform receded one after another, making Luo Menglan feel as if he was no one. Break through the Lotus hole. With a sound, Luo Menglan raised her palm, and then gently moved towards the hole. At that time, a crack slowly emerged from the hole of the Lotus platform. Immediately, the Lotus core of the Lotus platform was also continuously enlarged through the hole, and finally slowly appeared in front of the two. Boom. As Luo Menglan gently opened a hole in the Lotus platform, in an instant, in the entire space, the dazzling power of extreme cold burst out in an endless stream, turning into white mist. It really is the Xianbing Lotus Seed. Luo Menglan couldn't help shouting softly, looking at the white spot of light lying quietly in the heart of the lotus. The white-black ice lotus seed is only the size of a finger, but the energy contained in such a small lotus seed is huge and surprising. That kind of power, just one piece is enough for them to have the shackles of 3-star perfection. Opportunity. In the center of Bai Wuliantai, a few white light spots appeared slowly, and with the appearance of these light spots, a force of extreme terror and extreme cold suddenly emerged in this space, but when approaching Luo Menglan, slowly generally absorbed by it. 1, 2, 5. Luo Menglan murmured softly, and then her eyes shrank tightly, a look of shock. This mysterious ice lotus platform has actually condensed 5 mysterious ice lotus seed. You must know that the value of Xianbing lotus seeds, even one, is worth a fortune. At this moment, there were 5, which shocked Luo Menglan. Are you all right? Xiao Gui also walked up at this time and asked. I'm fine. Look at the center of the lotus pedestal. The spot of light shining with white light is the Xianbing lotus seed. There are 5 of them. Big man, this time, thank you so much. Luo Mengsheng lost his voice, looking at the 5 lotus seeds standing quietly above the lotus heart in front of him. It's not too late, I must retreat and swallow the Xianbing lotus seeds to see if I can break through the 4-star fighting immortal. After a while, Luo Menglan's eyes flashed with a hint of determination. Obviously, in order to avoid the forced marriage by some elders, Luo Menglan ran directly to Ling Shan, firstly to escape, and secondly to strengthen her time. I heard that guy is a 4-star fighting immortal powerhouse, and he even touched the existence of the realm with half of his foot, so Luo Menglan wanted to escape from this predicament, only to strengthen his own strength. Retreat, I will protect the law for you. I'll stay here until you finish. Xiao Gui nodded slowly when he heard the words. Although he didn't know why Luo Menglan frowned, he didn't ask any further. Thank you, big man. I have taken all the benefits of this treasure hunt away from me. I'll give back to you when I leave the customs. As soon as the words fell, a dazzling power of ice emerged from Luo Menglan's body, and then she directly wrapped herself and the lotus platform, which was obviously a small space for her own cultivation. So the space where the ghost Xiao was is now at peace, leaving only the ghost Xiao. Hey, I don't know what the status of this guy is in the spiritual courtyard. Looking at this dress, it seems that his status is not low. If I speak like this, I am afraid that the possibility of rejection is very high. No. Looking at the white light in front of him, Xiao Gui slowly walked back and forth to protect the road. It's over. The next moment, a hearty laughter slowly emerged, and a man with a heavy ruler on his back slowly wriggled out of the void. He, eldest brother, that ice demon swordsman. Hearing this voice, Xiao Gui smiled sincerely. It was absorbed by me. Xiao Yang said softly. Big brother, your strength is really increasing fast. In a flash, Xiao Gui realized that his elder brother's strength was only in the late stage of Samsung Dozian, but he was still in the dark. There is an extremely terrifying aura that slowly exudes. Okay, don't talk about me, talk about you. This girl's strength is not bad, the strength of the 3-star fighting fairy is complete, and she also has an ice-type great celestial seed on her body. It seems that her status in the spiritual academy is definitely not low. So, do you have confidence? After a while, Xiao Yang the corner of his mouth smiled, and then he stared at Xiao Gui Dao. Big brother, but I. Xiao Gui seemed to understand what his elder brother said, and immediately hesitated. His parents' background was unknown, and he actually thought about the love of his children, and a trace of shame poured into his heart. I will investigate the matter of your parents for you, so there is some fate. Since you have met, you should take good care of it. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, He put a hand on Xiao Gui's heart and said earnestly, "Yeah." Xiao Gui nodded seriously, although the power of the blood of the same clan on both of them was the premise, but Xiao Yang helped and encouraged him so much, which made Xiao Gui extremely grateful. Wait and see. After a while, Xiao Yang's eyes turned towards the light in front of him. Obviously, he also wanted to see if Luo Menglan could break through the 4-star Dozian with the help of Shenbing lotus seeds. "Brother, my wound." The two of them were quiet for a while, and then Xiao Gui spoke up. Obviously, cold air was constantly emerging from his wound, making Xiao Gui quite unbearable for the pain. After all, he was just in front of Luo Menglan. Naturally, you can only endure it. "Okay, I can take care of this wound for you. It's just a grievance and a debt. Whoever hurt you, you should go to someone." Xiao Yang joked, but in his mouth it was a flash of a smile. Obviously, this kind of wound is the best topic for Xiao Gui to approach Luo Menglan. But this wound was caused by the Ice Demon Swordsman. It has been absorbed by you. Xiao Gui said dumbly for a while. "You brat, wait for this girl to go out, let you find him." Xiao Yang couldn't help but exasperatedly said, "This Xiao Gui is too stiff." Oh, thank you, big brother." Xiao Gui was puzzled for a while, but after a while, he slowly laughed, clearly understanding Xiao Yang's good intentions. "Wait. Before, I found out the strength of this girl, and it has vaguely reached the peak of the 3-star Dozian consummation. Now with the help of 5 mysterious ice lotus seeds, I am afraid that in a few days, she will be out of the customs," Xiao Yang said. As soon as the voice fell, the two of them waited slowly. For practitioners, a few days are fleeting in the process of cultivation. However, at this time, Luo Menglan, who was in the small space who was cultivating a breakthrough in retreat, burst out with a dazzling impact, and then the light that enveloped her started to shake slowly, even outside the entire space. The ice layer of the lake broke out with a chill that was piercing to the bone, and this appearance is clearly not a sign of a successful breakthrough, but a sign of a failed breakthrough. This fluctuation is. Xiao Yang and the two closed their eyes to practice, but they were instantly awakened by this strong fluctuation. Immediately, Xiao Yang stared at the light group in front of him, a trace of extremely destructive ice. Do Qi suddenly diffused from the light group. "Big brother, what's going on?" Xiao Gui was shocked when he heard the words, opened his eyes instantly, and hurriedly asked. "Retreat, don't go over." Xiao Yang saw this. Directly stopped Xiao Gui, and then the two of them stepped back at the same time. In a hurry, a jade bottle of quite good quality slowly emerged from Xiao Gui's body. Do immortal pill? Looking at the exquisite jade bottle in front of him, with Xiao Gui's cognition and memory, he naturally recognized the pill at a glance, and couldn't help but lose his voice. "Put it away, this is the reward given to us by Di Lao, and it is best to use the 3-star Dozian successfully," Xiao Yang said with a solemn expression. Xiao Gui put away the Doxian pill, and immediately focused on the light group in front of him. "Big brother, is she all right?" After a while, Xiao Gui, who had found nothing, could only ask. "It's hard to say, but this extremely tyrannical ice-fighting chi really came from her, it's just." Xiao Yang urged the dazzling soul power to protect the two from the erosion of the extremely cold chi, so he hesitated. "Just what?" Xiao Gui's pupils shrank tightly and asked. "It's just that this fighting spirit is not contained in the success of breaking through the 3-star fighting immortal. On the contrary, it is like breaking through the early stage of the 4-star fighting immortal and trying to enter the middle stage of the 4-star fighting immortal." After Xiao Yang finished speaking, his eyes became sharp. Obviously in this space, there are only 3 people, and now Xiao Yang and Xiao Gui are all here, so the source of this power is obviously only Luo Menglan. Impossible. She is only a complete 3-star fighting immortal. How could she try to break through the middle stage of a 4-star fighting immortal? Isn't this a clear statement of death? Xiao Gui exclaimed in shock. Shenbing lotus seeds are invaluable, and one of them has the power to make a 3-star Dozian perfect level powerhouse break through the shackles. If you take 5 of them together, trying to break through the middle stage of a 4-star Dozian is not a bad idea, Xiao Yang said. But, why did she take such a risk? Xiao Gui asked in a heart-pounding manner. "Hey, this girl, I'm afraid she also has some hardships." Xiao Yang shook his head helplessly. It's not that Xiao Yang envies Shenbing lotus seeds. After all, this thing is only useful for practitioners with the ice attribute. Therefore, even if it is swallowed by Xiao Yang, firewood attributes will not be of much use. Will cause backlash. Bang bang bang. In an instant, when Xiao Gui looked puzzled and painful, The icy light group dozens of meters away in front of the two suddenly burst open, and Luo Menglan's body was like a drizzle, powerless. Fall to the ground. 5 Xianbing lotus seeds are swallowed together. This guy. Xiao Yang saw a trace of blood on the corner of Luo Menglan's mouth, and even the breath in his body became completely disordered, and immediately shook his head and said, the 5 Xianbing lotus seeds were swallowed together. If successful, the girl's strength will skyrocket directly from 3-star Dozian consummation to the middle stage of 4-star Dozian, but now that she fails, her strength will probably stay at 3-star Dozian consummation for a long time, unless she takes a good pill. It will be difficult to survive diligent. Are you all right? Just as Luo Menglan collapsed weakly, Xiao Gui hurried forward and caught her. Big man. Luo Menglan struggled to open her eyes, then quietly stared at Xiao Gui, feeling powerless in her body, so she could only do this. Why do you do this? Xiao Gui gently hugged Luo Menglan. His body was shaking. She was a lively and cheerful girl just now, and she looked like this in just a few days. After discussing with the master of Soul Li, a headmaster in the underground courtyard decided to give me to the talented disciple in the underground courtyard, but that guy, I have never met, and wants me to marry him. How can it be? And because I am the only female disciple under the 3 headmasters in the spiritual courtyard, I am attracted by that guy. It is said that the strength of that guy is a genuine 4-star Doshin perfection, even in the entire underground courtyard. A top-notch existence, even an existence that touches the realm with half a foot. Although I don't want to conform to their intentions like this, but my strength is too weak, the 3-star Dozian is complete, and it is insignificant compared to that guy, so I can only take the risk and swallow the 5 mysterious ice lotus seeds. If I can break through the 4-star Dozian in the midterm, I am afraid that the headmaster will also strongly reject this forced marriage. But I failed, but I don't want to just accept my fate. Luo Menglan spoke slowly, her voice was quite light, but it was filled with a stubbornness that is rare in a girl. Who is he? I'll kill him. Xiao Gui heard the words and looked at the man crying in his arms. Immediately, the sky filled with ghost energy, which completely enveloped the space. Calm me down. Xiao Yang was shocked when he saw this, and the dazzling soul power directly suppressed Xiao Gui's anger temporarily. Big brother. Xiao Gui said angrily, his eyes couldn't help turning red. I'm sorry. Seeing Xiao Gui's actions after a while, Luo Menglan's heart warmed, but now that his breakthrough has failed, his strength will probably only stop at Samsung Dozian in the future. There is no escape. Is this thing useful? After a while, Xiao Gui took out an elixir from his arms and placed it directly in front of Luo Menglan, eagerly asking. This is fighting immortal pill? When Luo Menglan, who was a little weak, saw this, she was shocked and lost her voice. This is the fighting immortal pill. 3-star fighting immortal completion powerhouse can use it to break through the 4-star fighting immortal. Although it can't help you too much, hey. Xiao Gui grinned and said with a rather honest smile. Thank you, big man, but this thing is too expensive for me to accept. I will keep this trip to Ling Shan in my heart. If there is a chance in the future, I will definitely repay you. After Luo Menglan finished speaking, she directly stuffed the medicinal pill into Xiao Gui's arms. In the ghost world, and even in the entire Lizhan territory, there are only a few pharmacists, so even Luo Menglan, the great-granddaughter of the head teacher, does not have a fighting fairy pill, which is enough to see that the pharmacist is in the rarity of ghosts. After a while, Xiao Gui took out the jade bottle, and then took advantage of Luo Menglan's inattentiveness, and gently put the doziandan into his mouth. Luo Menglan's body was a little weak, and she closed her eyes and rested in Xiao Gui's arms, feeling the slightest sense of reassurance, but she noticed that a mellow elixir slowly emerged from her mouth. It's useless for me to keep it, just absorb it. Xiao Gui smiled indifferently. Even if he lost the Doshen pill, it seemed that as long as he had this girl by his side, he would be quite happy. As for the guy who forced you to marry you, no matter how holy he is, I, Xiao Gui, will definitely wipe him out. In an instant, a terrifying ghost that couldn't speak, suddenly spread out from Xiao Gui's body like a demon in the darkness. It seems that I don't need to intervene in the affairs of these two guys. Xiao Yang stood quietly and watched the two of them, obviously not intervening too much. Otherwise, with Xiao Yang's strength, it would definitely prevent Luo Menglan from failing to break through. It's just that all of this is for the sake of Xiao Gui's happiness, otherwise once Xiao Yang makes a move, I'm afraid there will be nothing to Xiao Gui. You. Seeing Xiao Gui's actions, Luo Menglan was obviously mixed, and couldn't help saying. She thought that Luo Menglan was like a little princess in the spiritual courtyard, but she had never seen a man like Xiao Gui who didn't covet treasures, and was even so kind to him, so he couldn't help feeling a little moved and grateful. Quickly absorb it. You have hurriedly swallowed 5 Shenbing lotus seeds, which has already damaged the source. The energy in the Doxian pill is rich, which can not only help you recover your vitality, but also help you break through the 4-star Doxian initial stage. Xiao Gui, he smiled rather kindly. Even if he lost the Do's Yandan, it was a normal smile. Crash. In an instant, the Do's Yandan hidden in Luo Menglan's mouth slowly overflowed with pure energy, and immediately gathered towards Luo Menglan's body with all the limbs and bones. With such a majestic energy, Luo Menglan suddenly became weak. The breath and even the origin are slowly being repaired. Mother, maybe I understand now why you are willing to accompany your father to fall. Suddenly, the corners of Luo Menglan's eyes were also full of water, and a trace of tears quietly emerged. After a short while, Xiao Gui let Luo Menglan down, and Luo Menglan also began to absorb the immortal fighting pill. This time, everything was a matter of course, and it was only a matter of time before he was brave enough to break through the 4-star fighting immortal. Big brother, my Do's Yandan. Xiao Gui couldn't help coming to Xiao Yang's side after doing all this, touching his head and laughing. His voice was slightly embarrassed. That was originally yours, and your move has a good effect, hey. Xiao Yang's tyrannical soul force naturally noticed some subtle changes in Luo Menglan, and immediately laughed. Big brother, the guy who forced the marriage is also in the underground courtyard. If I go to the underground courtyard in the future, I may not keep my hand. I will use all my strength to obliterate him. After a while, Xiao Gui attached to Xiao Yang. He whispered. Obviously Luo Menglan's words just now were deeply ingrained in Xiao Gui's heart. The power in your body, don't use it all before you figure it out. And don't worry, as for me, my big brother, I can't let you cry in vain. Besides, it's just a 4-star Doxian consummation. Although half of your foot touches the field, you don't need to use all your strength. Seeing this, Xiao Yang slowly patted Xiao Gui with his hands and said with a smile. Xiao Yang could vaguely sense that Xiao Gui had obtained a lot of good things from the demon suppression prison, and he seemed to have the power left behind by his parents in his body, which probably existed to protect him. The power, at least the existence of the 5-star fighting immortal level, if all attracted, the Xiao clan pattern will be completely exposed, and the safety of Xiao Gui will be in an extremely dangerous situation. Furthermore, a 4-star fighting immortal is complete. At this time, Xiao Yang can handle it with all his strength. Although it is quite laborious, and Xiao Yang also wants to try it, after he casts the flame swallowing technique, can he survive it? If it is possible to integrate the Buddha's Fury Lotus, I am afraid that Xiao Yang's combat power will break through the sky. Boom. At the moment when the two were talking, the void where the three were in suddenly exploded, and immediately the 3 figures appeared in the kilometer of ice. The ice attribute on this guy is worthy of being the great heaven seed of the ice element. Xiao Yang looked at Luo Menglan's body in front of him, and couldn't help but be surprised. Obviously, the power of the great heaven seed of this level has already matched his own. Fei Yang was on a par, but Xiao Yang was extremely curious about Xiao Gui's attributes. Xiao Yang is a combination of human blood and ghosts, so he not only has ghost qi, but also has the attributes of human fighting qi. However, Xiao Yang has never seen it from beginning to end, and even Xiao Gui does not know his other fighting qi. What property? At that time, a wave of white mist ripples suddenly spread out from Luo Menglan in the ice layer to the surrounding, and suddenly this 1,000-meter ice layer, one after another cracks, burst out from the bottom with a bang, wong buzzing. In an instant, at the top of Ling Shan mountain, bursts of extremely strange thunderclouds also burst forth. 4-star fighting immortal tribulation. As long as you successfully survive the 4-star fighting immortal tribulation, you can truly step into the 4-star fighting immortal. What a terrifying battle of immortals. After a few breaths, Xiao Yang's eyes also penetrated the endless white mist of Ling Shan, and he looked at the strange thunderclouds exuding destruction waves in the sky. The color of the thunderclouds was white, which was exactly the same as Luo Menglan's icy fighting qi, but those white thunderclouds kept rolling. Every time they rolled, thunderstorms with a size of hundreds of meters suddenly exploded, obviously preparing for an extremely tyrannical offensive. Attempt to obliterate Luo Menglan with one blow. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the body of a soul beast on the top of the Ling Shan mountain erupted with an extremely violent aura. Immediately, the immortal fighting tribulation in the sky was slowly shaken by such aura. Scattered. Such a tyrannical battle of immortals, won't it just go away? Although he knew that the Ling Shan space was special, Xiao Yang was surprised when he watched the white thunderclouds slowly disappearing above the sky. With the complete disappearance of the thundercloud, there were bursts of shattering sounds under the frozen lake and the 1,000-meter ice layer. Then a figure was smashed by countless ice. Surrounded by force, slowly walked out of the ice. Successful. Luo Menglan's easy breakthrough was naturally due to Xiao Gui's immortal fighting pill and the mysterious soul beast shell at the top of Ling Shan. Just after the breakthrough was successful, he ran towards Xiao Gui, her eyes beating, very happy. Big man. Thank you, I succeeded. A sweet voice slowly appeared in the ice layer, and then Xiao Gui and Luo Menglan's bodies hugged tightly. This is my eldest brother, the guy who just led away the ice demon swordsman, hehe. Xiao Gui first absorbed a tangy scent, then let go of it reluctantly, and then introduced it to Luo Menglan. Hello, my name is Luo Menglan. Luo Menglan was shocked when she saw this, but then she said to Xiao Yang politely, but at this time, he obviously did not have the leisure to pay attention to Xiao Yang, and focused on Xiao Gui. Body. I'll go first, I won't delay you anymore. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he also left directly, leaving behind Xiao Gui and Luo Menglan. The two also communicated in a low voice, and agreed on a day to heal the wound and cold, so they slowly left Ling Shan, but this simple trip to Ling Shan made Xiao Gui and Luo Menglan create a rather wonderful relationship. During this trip, Xiao Gui did not gain anything, and was even eroded by the cold air and lost a Dozian Dan, but he captured the heart of the little princess in this spiritual courtyard. Xiao Yang left Ling Shan directly and returned to the Lingyuan alone. The Earth Spirit Court is divided into the Earth Court and the Spirit Court, but both belong to the same family and belong to the vast and boundless area of the Earth Spirit Court. Therefore, the high-level officials of the Earth Spirit Court decided to divide this area into 3 divisions: upper, middle and lower. Govern. Among them, the Earth Court occupies a dominant position, located in the most fertile south of the Earth Spirit Court, while the Spirit Court is located in the north. As for the territory in the middle, there are countless creatures and forces living under the shelter of the Earth Spirit Court. The core of the Lingyuan exists in the center of this incomparably huge city where Xiao Yang is at this time, and this city is full of traffic, and its overall area is so huge that Xiao Yang is stunned. It also shows the depth of Lingyuan's heritage. Even the bustling level of the city is far beyond Xiao Yang's imagination. Here, whether it is a drug market or a downtown, the level of liveliness is second to none. In addition, there are millions of creatures living in the city. Among these creatures, there are many human beings, and even some ghosts that are just souls. But even so, under the protection of the Spiritual Academy, they also live together in peace and harmony. I don't know how to practice and experience in this Spiritual Academy. Xiao Yang had just returned to his residence and tried to find Di Lao, but was told by his senior brother in the Spiritual Academy that Di Lao had not returned from his trip. You can only leave the residence and walk around the city. The Lingyuan exists in the center of the city, but Xiao Yang's residence is only on the edge of the city center, and has not yet joined the Lingyuan. After all, the Lingyuan is heavily guarded, and the new disciples are not led by the headmaster. It is easy to get lost, so Xiao Yang simply prepared to visit this city first. The tea house, just right. After a while, Xiao came to a tea house called Piaxianglu, and he walked in slowly and sat down. Now that he has just arrived at this unfamiliar place, he naturally wanted to know the details first. Inquire clearly as well. Whenever people come and go, such as tea houses and taverns, it is often the easiest place for information to circulate. As for the identity of the alchemist, Xiao Yang does not want to reveal it. If the alchemist ID card is exposed, I am afraid that Xiao Yang will lose a lot of free time. Hey, I don't know if you heard about it. After a while, Xiao Yang just sat down, and suddenly someone on the other wooden tables said loudly, "What is it?" On the wooden tables, there were a tall fat man and 2 men in scholarly costumes. As soon as the fat man finished speaking, the other 2 thin men also cast their eyes and asked, "It is said that the acacia tree located in the middle of our Earth Spirit Academy is about to appear." Fatty picked up the tea set in his palm, finished drinking it, and said boldly, "Acacia tree?" When Xiao Yang heard the words, he couldn't help but lose his voice. Obviously, these few words shocked Xiao Yang. Acacia tree and acacia bronchitis have quite the same name. Is there any connection between them? After all, Xiao Yang's top priority now is not only to restore the power of his master, the Soul Eater, but also to find acacia broken heart inflammation. This little brother looks quite raw. Fatty laughed when he saw this. But what you don't know is that this acacia tree is said to be a strange tree that was transformed by the lifelong efforts and souls of a desperate couple. It is said that if you make a wish under the acacia tree, you can grow old together. What's more, there is an extremely small chance to enter the inner space of the acacia tree. There are many legends in the inner space of the acacia tree. Treasures, even martial arts and fighting skills. However, since it was recorded, there is only one person who has entered the inner space of the acacia tree. Fatty smiled kindly, and his voice was full of yearning. I don't know who it is. Xiao Yang suddenly became interested. Obviously, this acacia tree is probably not as simple as it seems. Master of the Spiritual Academy. Fatty's eyes slowly turned, and after looking around, he said, obviously the Master of the Spiritual Academy seems to contain some kind of terrifying magic power. Master of the Spiritual Academy? Xiao Yang was even more surprised. Not to mention the wonders of this acacia tree, the strength of the head of the Spiritual Academy alone, I am afraid that it has reached the point of Tongxian, so powerful, I am afraid. Hey, I've heard a little about the head of the Spiritual Academy. It is said that the master of the Ling Yuan is a human, but he fell in love with a ghost world woman who is only in the state of a soul body, and the ghosts in the ghost world, if they want to be completely resurrected and transformed into humans, they must gather 7 souls and 6 souls to complete them. The soul body, and the use of special methods to refine the body, can truly be reborn as a human. The head of the spiritual house has searched for countless methods for this, but he is unable to help his beloved wife to refine the body. One time, the acacia tree came, and the master of the Spiritual Academy went to find a way to hide from his beloved wife. By chance, he entered the inner space of the acacia tree. No one knew what he experienced, but he came from the inner space of the acacia tree after coming out. It is a retreat, and after leaving the retreat, his beloved wife has successfully transformed into a real human being. And his beloved wife is said to be quite special. The general method of refining the body is useless to her, and even the head of the Ling Yuan has dispatched his personal connections in the entire soul realm for this purpose, and there is no solution, so I concluded, there should be something mysterious in the space inside the acacia tree. The 2 scholars also smiled. And now, the news of the imminent arrival of the acacia tree will probably spread throughout the entire Spiritual Academy. At that time, the Spiritual Academy and the factions in the middle of the realm will probably be fighting for another battle. Fatty said slowly. Listen to you. This acacia tree is so mysterious, why do you want to spread the news? Xiao Yang asked with some doubts. Hey, the acacia tree is mysterious, but its attraction to ghosts is fatal. After all, every ghost wants to gather their own 7 souls and 6 souls to refine their body and be reborn as a human. However, under the acacia tree, there is a very special kind of acacia power, and that kind of power cannot be resisted. Only those who have deep love in their hearts can resist, otherwise they cannot get close to the acacia tree within a kilometer, let alone the acacia. The interior space of the tree. So those of us, although we yearn for it, have no fate. After all, the power of lovesickness cannot be resisted. If we rush into it, I'm afraid it will only increase casualties. After the fat man finished speaking, there was a trace of regret in his eyes. Is that so? Xiao Yang heard the words, nodded slowly, then drank the tea in his palm and left here immediately. Acacia tree. I remember that this acacia tree and acacia broken enteritis came from the same vein. Could it be that I remembered it wrong? As Xiao Yang left, the voice of the Soul Eater suddenly sounded in his heart. The acacia tree is about to come, it seems that I have to hurry up. After all, I rashly took out the acacia and broken enteritis from the acacia tree and divided them into 2 places. The power of the acacia cremonitis has gradually weakened. I hope that what I have all this is done, right. At the same time, in the highest void of Li Soul realm, the figure of Li Soul Lord also appeared in his own temple and spoke slowly. As soon as the voice fell, a pink flame suddenly jumped on the palm of the hand, like a elf. It seemed to want to escape the claws of the Lord of Li Soul, but it was completely surrounded by countless sinister patterns. As Xiao Yang returned to his residence, Xiao Gui also returned safely, but when Xiao Yang saw Xiao Gui, he found this guy with a smirk, and he didn't know what happened. After a while, Xiao Yang asked about it and it was fine. After all, the wounds on Xiao Gui's body had been temporarily suppressed by Luo Menglan, and they had agreed to meet in a few days to completely exorcise Xiao Gui, so Xiao Yang did not have too many medicinal pills. Go straight back to rest, because the disciples of the Spiritual Academy have already come to inform them that tomorrow, the old master will personally receive them into the Spiritual Academy, so Xiao Yang is not in a hurry. At this time, the scorching sun was in the sky, and in other areas of the Spiritual Academy, there were quite shocking things happening one after another. The Earth Spirit Court is the southernmost of the boundaries, where the Earth Court is located. Above a mountain range where the energy of heaven and earth is extremely rich and quite mysterious. Di Lao, what wind brought you here? A gust of breeze blew, and suddenly Di Lao's figure flickered out of the distance like lightning, and a man on the ground below smiled slowly. The man is gentle and elegant, with a refined aura, like a poetic scholar who is full of poetry and books, with a high air between his eyebrows, and the strength that is faintly revealed. He actually has a 4-star Dozian perfection level, but terrifying enough. Here, it is clearly a paradise. A piece of peach trees are emerging, the flowering period is in full bloom, surrounded by crystal clear water, and in the peach forest, trails emerge, such a place with rich energy and beautiful scenery. It is clearly the Earth-A resting place for some old monsters in the courtyard. Is Headmaster Ling here? Seeing this disciple, Di Lao opened his mouth slightly. My father is in the peach forest, the old man please. After finishing speaking, the young man Ling Yu made a gesture of invitation, and then slowly backed away. Di Lao heard the words, nodded slowly, and then opened his legs and walked towards Daolin. Old Di, I don't know about the marriage between the kid and Miss Luo Menglan. Can Headmaster Luo Zhamu agree? In an instant, when Di Lao passed by him, Ling Yu couldn't help asking. I don't know about this. Wait until I turn around and ask Lao Luo. After Di Lao finished speaking, he also slowly disappeared in front of Ling Yu, frowning as he spoke. Obviously he was not optimistic about this matter either. Damn bastard. Ling Yu scolded secretly when he saw Di Lao's disappearing figure. Luo Menglan, do you think this young master will really like a fool like you? If it wasn't for the news that Luo Zhamu was in control of a certain holy flame, how could this young master bow down and ask the Lord of Li's soul to give me marriage? I don't know why the powerhouses of the extraterritorial evil people want us to collect holy flames. Isn't holy flame their strongest nemesis? As he spoke, a dark pattern appeared between Ling Yu's eyebrows. At the moment when the dark pattern appeared, it was as if his whole body was plunged into boundless hell. If this kind of aura existed, Xiao Yang would be surprised to find out that this is clearly the mark of the evil power lines given to human beings by the powerhouses of the extraterritorial evil race, which is similar in nature to the crime of serving the extraterrestrial evil race, but I don't know why Ling Yu is on his body. Possessed, to know his talent, his status, even in the entire Earth Spirit Academy, is undoubtedly the top. Old ghost of Earth Spirit, you are still in such a hurry. Suddenly, an elegant pavilion slowly appeared in the center of the peach forest. The two men in brocade clothes sat quietly and said with a smile. The two were sitting in the pavilion at the moment. Chess game. The two men were about middle-aged, and their black hair looked particularly energetic, and their whole body revealed an extremely majestic aura, which was as shocking as mountains and rivers. Master Ling and Master Ari. Seeing this, the old ghost of Earth Spirit smiled slowly and stepped into the pavilion. Let's talk, what's the matter this time? Headmaster Ling looked at the arrival of the old ghost of the Earth Spirit, and suddenly stopped the movement in his hand, looked at it, and asked. In the middle of the boundary of the Earth Spirit Academy, the acacia tree is about to appear. After a while, the old ghost of Earth Spirit said earnestly, as if there were words in his words. Oh, acacia tree? When Headmaster Ling heard the words, there was a strange sound in his voice, and he was surprised. Acacia tree, old man remembers that it is a rare divine tree. Back then, the head of your spiritual academy benefited a lot from it, although we didn't know what the acacia tree had inside. Headmaster Ari beside him was quite envious. The headmaster is in charge of the large and small matters in their respective courtyards, and the so-called principal and vice principal are in seclusion all day long. Unless the courtyard is in danger, he will not show up easily. Therefore, in the underground courtyard and the spiritual courtyard, this is the way to go. Several headmasters are the highest decision-making. The acacia tree is here. I don't know why you came here, old ghost, Earth Spirit. After a while, Headmaster Ling smiled slowly. I'm here because I want Headmaster Ling to restrain his disciples and not step into the realm of the acacia tree. This time, it's our spirit court's turn. The old ghost of Earth Spirit also smiled lightly. Hey, old ghost of the Earth Spirit, what you said is wrong. The spiritual objects of heaven and earth are obtained by those who are destined, and the value of the acacia tree is rumored to be extremely mysterious. Your trip may be in vain. Ari on the side the headmaster laughed. Oh, is that so? In an instant, an extremely terrifying vindictive energy poured into the pavilion like a vast ocean from the old ghost of the Earth Spirit. In an instant, the world was lost, and even countless people in the peach forest were lost. The peach blossoms also shivered. 7 stars fighting immortals? How is that possible? Upon realizing this scene, Headmaster Ari said in a trembling voice. Never mind. This time, let the acacia tree be given to you in the spiritual court. I will restrict all the disciples of our underground courtyard from participating, but although we do not participate, it is not guaranteed that some sect forces living under our protection will meet. Go. Headmaster Ling said with a smile. If that's the case, then I would like to thank Headmaster Ling. Farewell. After a while, the old ghost of the earth spirit flickered when he saw that his goal was achieved, and slowly disappeared here. Sect Master Ling, the strength of this old ghost of the earth spirit has actually reached the level of the 7-star fighting immortal, which is 2. After a while, as the old ghost of the earth spirit disappeared completely, Ari Wang also said earnestly. Among the 3 headmasters in the Ling Yuan, only Jiang Wen's strength barely reached the half-step 7-star fighting immortal, but now the strength of the earth spirit old ghost has broken through the 7-star fighting immortal, which surprised them greatly. After all, even in their entire underground courtyard, although the 3 headmasters are all 7-star fighting immortals, the strength of 7-star fighting immortals has become a real power, so they have to pay attention to it. The old ghost of the earth spirit and Rosamu have a good relationship, and their origins are quite mysterious, so they must not be irritated. Besides, the resources collected by our courtyard are too many, so let's give it to the spirit courtyard this time. Go on, the disciples of the underground courtyard, don't get involved in the acacia tree, or the courtyard will deal with it. At that time, a majestic voice resounded throughout the peach forest. The scorching sun disappeared in a blink of an eye, and that night, in the earth spirit court, the night was always bone-chilling. In the Lingyuan courtyard, the residence of Headmaster Luo Zhamu. At this time, under the shroud of the night, a shadow moved slowly and ran straight towards the courtyard, hiding as if he was deliberately avoiding someone. That's great, old ancestor Luo is not here. It's worth it for me to walk around outside during the day until I dare to come back at night. The dark eyes swept slowly, looking at just a few guards in charge of patrolling in front of them. Immediately laughed. Meng Lan, did you come back so late? The next moment, a loving voice suddenly sounded. It's broken, it's broken. After a while, the shadow Luo Menglan couldn't care less, her speed skyrocketed, and she ran directly to her wing. You troublemaker, come here. A cold snort sounded, and Luo Menglan's voice was immediately grabbed by an invisible big hand, and suddenly came to the stone table in the courtyard. At this time, Luo Zhamu slowly sat on the edge of the stone table, and Luo Menglan also appeared here with a slightly dissatisfied corner of his mouth. Ancestor Luo, it's so late, what are you looking for from me? The moon is dark and the wind is high, and the night is cold. Ancestor Luo should pay attention to his body. I will go to the house to pick up a robe and put it on the ancestor. Luo Menglan's big watery eyes kept rolling, and she said to herself, trying to escape. Here. Oh, your strength. The next moment, Luo Zhamu's expression became strange. In Ling Shan, I was lucky enough to break through to the 4-star fighting immortal. Luo Menglan said truthfully. 4-star fighting immortals. It's very good, very good. Looking at Luo Menglan, Luo Zhamu smiled slowly in his heart, and then some strange thoughts flashed in his heart. Okay, don't bother. Isn't it because of Ling Yu's forced marriage? If you don't want to, just push it directly, you don't need to hide like this. After a while, Luo Zhamu smiled directly at Luo Menglan, who was pretending to be reserved in front of him. Ah! When Luo Menglan heard the words, she couldn't believe it. You must know that back then, Ling Yu and his father, Headmaster Ling, forced the Lord of Souls and him to marry him, and his ancestor was quite happy, but his attitude was completely different from today's. What's wrong? Luo Zhamu smiled as he saw the woman's body in front of him slowly becoming stiff and standing on the stone table. Fine. Thank you, ancestor. But if I push this marriage like this, will it have any effect on you? After a short while, Luo Menglan also bit her lips and said, Yes, but don't worry, and you, the old ghost and ancestor, protect you, even if they are unconvinced, I'm afraid they can only endure it. Rosamu smiled. Yeah. Luo Menglan nodded happily when she heard the words. She has not known her parents since she was born, and only Ancestor Luo and Ancestor of Earth Spirit are fond of her. Since your strength has reached the 4-star Do's Yan, there is no need to hide some things from you. Come with me. After a few breaths, Luo Zhamu looked at the void, then slowly got up and walked towards the core of the courtyard. Isn't that where our Luo family's ancestral hall is located? Could it be that the ancestor is hiding something from me? Although there were some doubts in his heart, Luo Menglan followed carefully. Luo's ancestral hall. The 4 characters appeared brilliantly in front of Luo Menglan. Luo Menglan remembered clearly that this ancestral hall was the most mysterious existence in their mansion. It was heavily guarded, and no one was allowed to approach it. Born creatures, the law of all things, resolve. As soon as I came to the Ancestral Hall, a tyrannical prohibition that was isolated from the world emerged around the Ancestral Hall. Then, on the palm of Luo Zhamu, a trace of grey-white energy slowly appeared in the hand, passing through the complex handprint of the ancestor, which was injected into the gate of the Ancestral Hall. Boom! With a loud noise, Luo Zhamu and Luo Menglan's bodies suddenly turned into a strong light, pouring into the interior of the Ancestral Hall. Ancestor, this just came to the inside of the Ancestral Hall, looking at the hundreds of spiritual tablets in front of him. A heavy touch suddenly emerged from the heart. Obviously, these spiritual tablets were established after the fall of the strong in their Luo clan. And what surprised Luo Menglan the most was that these spirit cards were filled with traces of strange grey-white energy. These energies did not have any attributes, but intuition told Luo Menglan that these grey-white energies were absolutely extraordinary. Our Luo clan has been in the ghost world for hundreds of years. When I first came to the ghost world, I was still just a nobody. With the blessing of my ancestors, I became who I am today. Luo Zhamu bowed respectfully to the hundreds of spirit tablets in front of him and said, "Ancestor." Luo Menglan also said softly, "But the ghost world is not our original place of residence after all. There are ghosts and conspiracies here, so we should return to our homeland and return to our hometown." Luo Zhamu looked at the spiritual card in front of him and took care of himself. Said from hunger. And our hometown is the sky silver continent under the human world. After a while, Luo Zhamu said solemnly, "Tianyin. Continent." Luo Menglan seemed a little shocked when she heard the words. "Menglan, every day from now on, you must come to this clan's ancestral hall to worship these spiritual cards, and the grey-white power on the spiritual cards must be absorbed day by day until you absorb all of these powers, and I will do it for you. Get rid of the forced marriage, so as to get out of the ghost world and go back to our hometown." After a while, Luo Zhamu said solemnly, "Yes, Patriarch." Luo Menglan was ecstatic when she heard the words, and immediately agreed. "Let's start, today is the first day." After Luo Zhamu finished speaking, he also slowly backed out. As Luo Zhamu left, Luo Menglan knelt down on the futon with her knees, and the dazzling ice battle chi emerged from her body, and then silently chanted some pilgrimage incantations in her heart. It's just that even Luo Menglan didn't realize that with her actions, the grey-white energy on those spirit cards actually shook slowly, and then entered her body at a very slow speed. This kind of grey-white energy is quite special, and it doesn't seem to have any power, but if Xiao Yang was here, he would have discovered that this grey-white energy turned out to be holy power. The so-called holy power is an existence that prepares for the absorption of holy flames, similar to the medicinal pill Xiao Yang prepared to devour holy flames, but this holy power can only be guarded by holy flames. Only then will it be born, and absorb so much holy energy. I am afraid that in the future, it will be able to easily absorb the corresponding holy flame. Is it all done? After a while, outside the Ancestral Hall, Luo Zhamu was finally relieved. Just walking, a question came from the void. Yep. Then Xiao Yang has a holy flame ranked 35, but the holy flame guarded by our Luo clan is far too tyrannical. This time, at least a few years, as many as decades, as long as Menglan has absorbed the holy power that devoured the holy flame, I will leave the ghost world, go back to my hometown, and let her really devour the holy flame. Luo Zhamu whispered. That's fine. This girl has a poor background, and I promised her parents to protect her, so I'll go back with you when the time comes. After a while, the old ghost of Earth Spirit also laughed. You. Luo Zhamu was also surprised when he heard the words. Okay, that's it. With some time left, I will carefully teach this guy with holy flames. I always feel that this guy is not easy. By the way, the scope of actions of Sin and the foreign evil clan has been a little wider recently, so be careful. As soon as the voice fell, the old ghost of the Earth Spirit also disappeared here. This video will end here.